We're joined now by Shaoshan Liu. He's the founder and CEO of Perceptin, a company that helps develop robots and autonomous vehicles. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, we just saw some examples of robots in healthcare. We also know that they're used in manufacturing. But what industries are you seeing the biggest growth and demand for robots?
I think it all started with industrial robots. They're very cost effective. They can replace human workers on highly repetitive tasks with very high precision. Especially in the automotive industry, it's quite pervasive. And in recent years, we have seen some new form factors of robots, especially the household robots, such as vacuum cleaners. They're affordable, effective. But I want to remind everybody that we are still at the dawn of the age of the robotic age. I expect to see an explosion of different robotic products in the next decade. This has an impact, I expect, as big as the Industrial Revolution. They will greatly improve the productivity of the human society.
Well, what stands out to you at the World Robot Conference? What are you excited to see?
Well, I think China is constructing a whole new supply chain for robots. I think that's the most exciting innovation. It's how you, at the macro level, how you construct a whole supply chain. If we take, for example, the EV industry, the electric vehicle industry, a lot of people are not regarding EV as one form of robot, but with all the autonomous driving capabilities, the EV industry is actually the crown jewel of the robotic industry. Especially the EV supply chain, it's a massive supply chain. By constructing that supply chain, eventually the supply chain is going to trickle down to different form factors of robots. I think that's a very exciting development in China today.
You mentioned robots replacing humans for certain jobs. There's that big fear among many people about people losing their jobs. What is your take, and how do you change the perceptions that, in fact, robots can actually help productivity, output, and even GDP?
A very good question. But let's face it and deal with it. It's going to happen either way. I have a few arguments to make regarding this question. First of all, many robots are here to help you and not to take away your job. For example, the robot vacuums effectively give more time back to you by doing your chores. And also, some argument says that because it's going to replace some jobs, and let's not do it. I don't agree with that. Let's go back 200 years in history, right? The Industrial Revolution took away many, many jobs. If we go back 200 years, China was filled with manual labor, whereas European countries were transforming into industrial countries. See what happened next in the past 100, 150 years of history. So I think it's going to happen. We have to deal with it. And beyond just losing jobs, I think impact's much bigger than we can imagine. For example, if you take away your cell phone today, in China, it's quite pervasive. Everybody is using a WeChat app for various activities. But a lot of elderlies are not able to deal with that. So I think in these cases, whether it's about losing jobs or adapt to new technology, the government is going to need to step in and put more regulation to help these minority groups. Fourth argument that I want to make is about education. I remember about 25, 30 years back, when I was in primary school, they were teaching computers. But computer back then was not pervasive in China or ubiquitous in China. But today, I think it's the right time that the government should start a program to teaching kids how to deal with robot and interact with robot, so that in the next decade or two, they can adapt to the changing environment.